What's good, YouTube? Listen, y'all. We're doing another fight card prediction. Now, I know the last one I posted it the day of. Yeah, I'm fucking stupid, but guess what? I also did ass too. That's what happens when you rush a prediction. But this time, I really had to lock in and actually use my brain. So, I'm expecting to perform good this time. Max I'm getting wrong is probably 3. But another thing I do have to clarify is this card is straight mids versus mids. At least like most of the prelim is like that. But yeah, let's start with the early prelims. Shauna Bannon versus Nicolle Caliari. Now, although how do you even say Nicolle? I'm just gonna call her Nicolle. That's the only regular name I can read right now. Although Nicolle did get slept in her last fight, that other fighter did go on to put on a beating to another girl. So the loss didn't age that bad. And another thing I have to clarify is she's not fighting a KO or a striking specialist. She's fighting Shauna Bannon. Like, if we're being serious, she's not even UFC level at a WMMA level. Like, there's different levels of bottom of the barrel. Like, she is the steepest one. So to me, it's honestly a no-brainer. This is going to the ground. You know, Shauna might get back up, but I can also see her getting held by the cage for like a fat minute. I expect her to win by decision. Yeah, she's not getting no submission, bro. I think Shauna is good enough to at least survive the submission threats. I do think she might get up from a few takedowns. And when they are striking out in the open, she's not going to do nothing threatening. I think this is an easy win for Nicolle. Moving on. Okay, Danielle Barez versus Luis Gurule. I mean, it's literally a pick'em. Look at the odds. Like, I expect people to go 50-50 with this. No one's gonna be confident when deciding this, but I'm gonna have to stick with he's not my dog, actually. You're not my dog, but I'm gonna have to pick Luis Gurule. My thought process is, or at least when I was watching footage, Danielle Barez does look like the better striker. I'm gonna be honest here. He does look like the better striker. The only thing I'm really shying away from is the fact that he does slow down. He also is pushing 40. Yes. He's pushing 40 in a flyweight division. They're both not exceptional. They both are coming off losses. At least Luis Gurule lost to a fighter that had good striking, trains with Joshua Van, and he was doing good stuff. It's just that he just wasn't able to go off. He was able to get his takedowns, which is a threat I do see working against Danielle Barez, but I do see Danielle Barez getting back up. But that little like grappling is gonna for sure slow down and at least ease the power that Danielle Barez has. Although his pace is moderately high, it's not like some ungodly pace like some Marab type beat, but it is a pace nonetheless. Luis' last fight, he was getting a lot of takedowns, but he was getting reversed. So I imagine he learned from that and can build off that. Barez, he's pushing 40, doesn't have the best gas tank. He does have that pop in his striking, though, for the first few rounds. So Luis has to stay on his P's and Q's and not get caught. I expect Luis to lose the first round, but at least win the second and third. And I got him winning by split decision. Moving on. Hold on out. Polyana Viana. You're going to lose. Yeah, I'm going with, oh my God, bro. These names. Alice Ardelean. There you go. I'm tripping. I just can't read. I used to like Polyana's striking, but her takedown defense isn't good at all. She's at a point of her career where I don't think she's taking it as serious. She might have to transition to OnlyFans, y'all. No bullshit, bro. Yeah, I think she has a good career there, honestly, but don't put too much thought into these fights. Alice, good grappler. She should be able to take Polyana Viana down and hold her down. Better experience. Moving on, though. Cody Brundage versus Andre Petroski. So, guys, this is the battle of the mids.
Coffin Baby versus Coffin Baby.
Both coming off losses. Both aren't really talented. They're just mid. I don't know how to put it. I don't understand why they have Andre Petroski as a huge favorite, because I'm going Cody Brundage. And y'all have to hear me out. Hear me out here. So Petroski he's willing to look for submissions when it's presented him. He's willing to throw. He throws a lot of calf kicks. He loves throwing them hoes, but he's very slow in his punches, and it sometimes looks very labored. He doesn't set anything up. It just seems like a typical Apex fighter that's a journey, not even a journeyman. Like, What's even lower than a journeyman? Do not put these guys in your parlay though. That's one thing I will say. But the reason I'm going with Cody Brundage is he's willing to at least throw down as the going gets tough. He's willing to bite down in his mouthpiece and start throwing. He's shown to have some decent takedown defense. Not the greatest though, but decent. Good enough to at least defend Andre Petroski's like takedowns if he's going to shoot any. And in the feet, I have to favor Cody Brundage because I think he would slightly have the speed advantage, just very slightly. To me, it's mostly because Petroski, you have a sus chin, my guy. I cannot go for you. Especially with those big meaty hooks that Cody Brundage be throwing. Oh yeah, if he catches Petroski one time, that boy is going to sleep. And Brundage has shown to have a decent chin at least. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Cody Brundage. I'm picking the underdog. Give me that real quick. Moving on. Caitlin Vieira versus Jaqueline Cavalcanti. This fight is also tough, guys. If I do good with these predictions, word to I am the GOAT of predictions, because this card itself is really testing all these analysts for real. And guess what? I'm going with Jaqueline Cavalcanti, however you pronounce it. One thing I will say is I'm not confident picking her, cause Caitlin Vieira, she is a good underdog. I'm not gonna hold you guys. She's been through way more tougher tests. Guys, look at the experience this girl has. Holly Holm, Pennington, Kayla Harrison, Norma Dermont. And that was a split. These are all split decisions. Guys, this is going to be a tough test for Jaqueline, but I do see her pulling it through. She has the better striking. Vieira will try to mix everything in because she is a well-rounded fighter, but I just think that Jaqueline's gonna outstrike her and win by decision. Yes, guys, I'm saying it. I'm calling it here. I don't think Vieira is one of those outstanding WMMA fighters. I do think Jaqueline is one of those that have a little bit of main character. I mean, she's not really a main character, but like she's not an NPC. So I'm gonna have her outstriking Caitlin Vieira, winning the decision. Moving on, Tommy Grant versus Artur Gang. Does that say 0-0-0? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Tommy Grant. This motherfucker don't even got a picture, y'all. Okay. Let me actually break it down. Let me not joke around. Okay, so they're both undefeated. This isn't their actual record, I believe, but I think it's a little higher. But one thing I like about Tommy Grant is he is very polished. He has a very polished background. He's D1, All-American wrestler. Trains under DC. I don't know what else I gotta say. His submission win in the Dana White Contender Series was very impressive. Now, Artur, I believe he's taking this on short notice. I watched this fight. It was okay. It was nothing like exceptional. Tommy Gantt is the more polished fighter. I have to pick him, and I'm gonna be a fool if I don't. And I'm going round 2 submission. Tokkos versus Ivan Erslan. Okay, so this fight, another one that, guys, I'm telling you guys, damn near all these fights are neck and neck, honestly. I'm gonna have to go Tokkos, and here is my reasonings. I know he submitted Tafa, but guys, that's not that impressive, honestly. Like, who hasn't submitted him? What I do like about him is this matchup. Erslan is susceptible to these takedowns. We've seen it. And honestly, that one time when Jimmy Crew choked him out, I ain't gonna lie, that boy got sunned. Another thing I do like about Tuco is even when the going gets tough, that boy still throws down. Even when it looks like he's about to get knocked out, he's still willing to throw. And I can see him catching Erslan, but I'm not banking on that. The one thing I don't like about Tuco is when he's struggling to get his takedowns and he's getting beat up on the feet, he tends to rely heavily on like standing, like circling around the cage, and that is a recipe for disaster. You're asking to get knocked out. Like, he stands there for a little too long waiting for someone to start throwing combinations on him. But the outlier I do see is the takedown ability. I do like his takedown ability, and Erslan is susceptible to takedown. He doesn't have the greatest takedown defenses. He doesn't make the best decision when on the ground. So I do think he can use that to alleviate the pressure that Erslan is going to try to, push on him. I can't see him catching Erslan with a big meaty hook that he throws when he gets desperate, but I think he's going to be methodical. He's going to take him down, and he's going to get the submission. The round, I'll probably give it round 2. Moving on, Nikolay Veretennikov versus Chaos Williams. I do have Chaos Williams winning this fight, guys, by KO. You guys got to hear me out. Don't hate. Please just hear me out. Nikolay is coming off of a win, but before that, he wasn't really looking good in his career. He was also losing. His recent win was against Nico Price by KO. Guys, let's be honest. Who doesn't KO Nico Price as well? Like, what? That's almost the same equivalence to who doesn't submit the Taffa brothers. Like, what? But one thing I don't like about Nikolay is that he is not that defensively responsible. He does not move his head. He just posts. A matchup against Chaos Williams that's a recipe for disaster. Especially a guy that hits hard. We might see a slime out for real. The only thing I am a little concerned about is the takedown ability that Nikolay does bring to the table, and Chaos Williams has shown to get taken down. But I'm expecting him to at least be able to defend it against Nikolay, bro. Bro, please, bro. If you can't defend this, bro, you're cut. You're getting cut. Lock into it. Moving on. Timmy Cuamba versus Bernardo Sopaj. I'm going to have to pick the underdog here, and I'm actually going to go by decision. I could see a knockout, though, but you guys got to hear me out. So, Sopaj is primarily a boxer. He comes forward. He's actually pretty skillful. Both of these guys are skillful. The reason I'm actually going with Timmy, though, is he is the longer fighter. He actually has a decent size advantage. If he uses his kicks well, this is a good stylistic matchup for him. But the one thing that I really love about him is those knees up the middle, y'all. And Bernardo has gotten knocked out by them same knees. This is a recipe for success for Timmy. As long as he utilizes all his striking aspects of himself, he should, in my personal opinion, comfortably win this fight. Moving on, Modestas, Bukauskas. Dude, what are these fucking names, yo? Like, I can't even name this. Bukauskas and Christian Edwards. Do I really gotta even tell you guys who's winning this? This man has no profile pic. 0-0-0? Are we dead ass? I did look him up, though. And this motherfucker is a journeyman in the Bellator leagues. Bellator doesn't even exist no more, y'all. I think this is pretty clear. Bukauskas by KO. The one thing I am a little skeptical on is
this motherfucker is 6'7".
no brain rush it, but that is pretty scary. But I'm assuming this motherfucker is capping. No way he's actually that tall. And if it is, I want to see how Bukauskas deals with that. Yeah, Bukauskas KO round 2. Moving on, Malcolm Wellmaker and Juan Diaz. Guys, I'm rocking with my dog Malcolm Wellmaker. I know he lost his recent fight against Ethan Ewing, but if we're being serious and we're being dead ass, let's stop joking on him, y'all. I know he was supposed to win that fight, but if we're being dead ass here, he looked good in that fight. And now we all know that Ethan Ewing is the real deal. This man might be in the ranking system soon. So it's not a bad loss for Malcolm Wellmaker. This is another decently tough test. Not as tough as Ethan Ewing, but it's a decent enough test where we can see if Malcolm Wellmaker has evolved his game or not. Because in that Ethan Ewing matchup, he was spamming that right hook over and over. Although it was landing, he wasn't getting that knockout he was looking for. And it became slightly predictable. So hopefully he's evolved his game a bit. And I expect him to win by knockout in the second round as well. Moving on, Duho Choi versus Daniel Santos. This fight, guys, I'm pretty certain on this one. I'm going with Daniel Santos, and I'm also going via KO. Watching the film, Duho Choi, he looks good. He looks good he's primarily a boxer. He throws good calf kicks. Good striking. He's willing to go on the ground too. He was able to hold and control Nate Landwehr, but that fight has been a while. When was that fight? Let me look it up. That was in 2024, gang. You haven't fought in over a year. Daniel Santos, on the other hand, he fought another Asian fighter. I was going to say Korean, but I don't want to sound racist. Either way, in that Santos versus Lee fight, Lee is honestly a good striker. Honestly, I see him as a better striker than Duho Choi because he's more of a well-rounded striker. He uses all aspects of his arsenal. The only key issue I see here that could work to the detriment of Daniel Santos is that he's susceptible to the calf kicks. He wasn't really checking them as much, and it did look like it started taking a toll on him. And another thing I will say is Daniel Santos, chill with the spinning heel kick, gang. You not landing that shit, bro. Actually, you might land it in this matchup. But the reason I'm actually picking Daniel Santos is if Doho Choi is gonna try to box with him, he's gonna get caught. You are over here getting caught by Date Landwehr. Them slow ass punches, bro. Oh nah, this is you're asking to get knocked out by Daniel Santos. And another thing I do like about him is he is also a grappler. He trains under Chute Box with Charles, so I don't think Doho Choi's grappling is going to be an issue at all. I do think Daniel Santos might try to implement that game into it. I do see him catching Doho Choi while Doho tries to step in with a jab. I could see Santos stepping in overhand, or as Doho Choi is exiting, gets caught with the left hook. So Santos by KO in the 3rd round. Finally, we're in the main event, y'all. Arnold Allen versus Melquizael Costa. I think this fight is very easy to decide on it. I'm going with Arnold Allen decision. I could see him stopping maybe Costa in the 5th round, but I'm gonna have to stick with a decision. Guys, Arnold Allen has faced the who's who, and he's actually faced way more dangerous strikers than Costa is. We've seen him fight against Gene Silva. We've seen him fight against Giga Chikadze when he was decent, okay? I know he's washed now, but when he was decent, we seen him fight against Max Holloway. And although I'm naming 2 of the 3 I just named are losses, they were close fights. They were in Max Holloway fight. He was actually giving Max Holloway a run for his money until the 5th round. Gene Silva, he was also giving Gene Silva a run for his money, but he's just never able to get to the finish line, and he barely loses. We know Costa brings a KO threat. He's knocked out Dan Ige. That was a surprise. But before that, he wasn't looking that good in that fight, at least in my opinion. Unless he catches Arnold Allen with a spinning heel kick, I don't see him knocking Arnold Allen out. We've seen Arnold Allen take clean flesh shots from Gene Silva, and I wouldn't say eat it, because he's gotten rocked. He's gotten rocked multiple times before, but he's always able to compose himself and continue the fight. I do think it's gonna be unanimous decision, y'all. I think we're finally gonna see Arnold Allen win a fight. Yeah, I know it's been a while, but it's well deserved. Costa, on the other hand, I honestly don't even see him hurting Arnold Allen. I think Arnold Allen is the better striker of the 2. Costa is crafty with his shot selections. He will throw a crazy strike, and it has landed on every other fighter, and he has knocked out the fighters that don't get knocked out. So is there a world where Arnold Allen gets slumped? Yes. Is it likely? No. Which is why I'm going with Arnold Allen by decision. Y'all, I'm telling you guys, bet the house, bet everything, because I'm going fucking undefeated in this bitch. I'm tired of getting my shits wrong. I had to lock in for this one, y'all. Hope y'all liked the video. Leave a like, subscribe. Peace.